Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Carla. We are going to visit today the chart of the full moon in Leo happening the 12th of February of 2025, where we are going first to take a look on the traditional level just to understand better and more what's happening in our personal daily life level. And then we are going, of course, to see the Galactic Astrology one to understand these evolutionary times and this particular full moon. It's interesting because we are having this full moon within square with Uranus, and this will bring of course, disruptive energies, and we are going to navigate some kind of surprises. But anyway, we have a lot of beautiful energies supporting us during this possibility of a new quantum leap. But for me, especially, this is a full moon to embrace our inner light. So let's dive in. To take a look on the chart of this event. And the first attention will be focusing on the moon, the sun, and Uranus that you will be taking on the chart. It's holding a space of a T square that is actually drawing a triangle. So take a look because this is very interesting. The moon, this full moon, it's in Leo. Leo is a sign that is ruled by the sun. So immediately we must take a look on the sign where the sun is. And of course, we can see that the sun is an Aquarius. This let us know exactly where are the point that we are bringing into the light of those those teams that are part of our inner emotional space as the moon it is. So we can understand briefly that the moon will be bringing into light a lot of emotions that need to be processed. But what kind of energies and emotions will be bringing up now in this intensity of the full moon? Actually, is the visionary one, is the future one, because Aquarius is a sign that always let us connect with those energies that are unique, different, rebel, and the Maverick, for example, is a huge and beautiful archetype to understand better and more Aquarius energy. In this particular moon, we are having Mercury right next to the sun. So this let us know that we are in alignment to understand even better and more those future self, future energies that we must now understand and process in order to become this new self that we all want to be, the part of us that want to embrace the light and uniqueness energies of who we really are. Interesting enough, the ruler of the sign of Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is making a square, a tense aspect with the moon and the sun. And it's interesting because as soon we had the last new moon in Aquarius, the ruler of Aquarius went direct, was retrograde for many months now. And that is the energy that all of us are sensing as the energy that make all of us think that this is a moment to go for everything, go forward, connect with that light and that future self. And at the same time, we have, in this particular moment, needed to take a look on the sign where is Uranus, and Uranus is on the sign of Taurus. Taurus is that energy that let us know that we must to anchor and seed our seeds if we want to have resources to later on become in that unique individual that the sun in Leo let us be. This being said, we must take a look on the ruler of Taurus, and the ruler of Taurus is Venus. And I have in my channel on a small video talking about the journey that we are going to do during all February, actually until the beginning of March, Venus before start the retrograde and coming back to the place that start before the last new moon in Aquarius. I hope I'm not losing you on the middle of this, but I want to share with you how we must understand that all the energies in a chart are connected. And this is not just a thing that we do in random here. It's something that we always astrologers do every single time that we see a chart, a personal chart or an event chart like this one. If you notice, in Aquarius, we have, of course, the beginning of the first degree of Pluto in this particular sign. And even when Pluto is not near to the degree of Mercury and the Sun, as both are at 24 degrees of the sign, we know that that energy is strong enough and unconscious enough and transformative. Let us know that this sign of your chart is asking you and all of us to bring light, understanding, and transformation on a future self and a future vision of humanity and, of course, at individual levels. If you take a look again and understand that Uranus is direct and is in Taurus, we will be understanding that it's time to renovate and change in favor of bring more resources to that moon now full in Leo. Let's take a look on the other fixed sign that it's not involved in this particular case when we are seeing this T square in planets and energies like the full moon in Leo, all the planets in Aquarius, and Uranus in Taurus. The sign, the fixed sign that is missing here is Scorpio. And even when a Scorpio doesn't have any planet right now there, we have, and take a look here, at 24 degrees of the sign, the alignment with Hadar. Hadar in Beta Centauri is a huge, beautiful energy of spiritual masters and unconditional love that will be let us know that if we are able to release all the tension of this T square, let us know that we are able to transform however and wherever showing up surprisingly and disruptively during these times where Uranus is actually one of the leading energies, we will be able to become wherever we must to be in order to keep going, facing the future and being our best self. Every single time that we take a look on charts, again, even when we are not probably first watching that because it's not directly in alignment, we take a look in those personal planets in order to understand how will be affecting us as humans, as individuals. And always we take a look, of course, in Mars, as Mars, we know, is the planet that help us to understand how we move in order to get where we need, where we want, and how we actually transform through actions. And Mars is retrograde in Cancer. And this is very interesting if you take a look from the bottom of this chart. Please take a look, but don't be so much attached in the aspects that you are going to see. This chart is the chart that I took from the place that I am living, but doesn't care. The rising sign is just the configuration of the energies, and will be exactly the same configuration with different rising signs wherever the astrologer are living. So this being said, take a look, and Mars in Cancer retro, it's feeding all that old uh, cells that we know we are no longer in alignment. We've been feeding some part of that dynamics, and even when we revisit those behaviors that are not longer suiting us, but are right there repeating over and over and over again, we know because we have a beautiful trine between Mars in Cancer and Saturn in Pisces, that this is the time to let that part of ourselves go for good, because we will have the support that we need to stop being childish victims and actually attach to those ways of being or doing stuff that are not longer in alignment with us. But we made it probably because we are trying to feel secure, and that security, as all of us changed in the last 4 or 5 years, are not longer at the same place. So if you take a look and take a look up, exactly in opposition to this Mars, we have an alignment with Lyra, and that Lyra placement is actually supporting in a sextile to Saturn too. And this is an excellent news, as this for me is a moment that energies of evolution are inviting us to keep the focus and times to come, where we must remember that right there in Lyra are the spiritual origin of our own um, parents as a race. And of course, if we look up and we are able to dismantle and heal all the trauma that coming from the Lyran words, and we are able to reconnect again with our spiritual part, spiritual origins, and of course our galactic heritage, we will be able to move forwards and get into, will be the definitely and the definition of the beginning of Aquarius era in 2026. Leo moon is doing a trine with Chiron, and that is perfect because they will be helping us to understand and find those vulnerabilities that are actually blocking us the possibility to be the leaders of our own history. And sometimes when we put in all the time our vulnerability in front of us, we block the possibility to understand that we come here, no matter what, to leave our imprint in this beautiful world. And of course, with Venus in Aries, that is the first sign of the zodiac, we know that it's the time to connect with audacity of being able to stop hiding and be original, going into a new phase of life to be boldly. And it's beautiful because Venus is in sextile with Jupiter in Gemini, and they make us know that it's a time to start thinking in different paths to go and become in this new person, new self. And if we take a look on the past, October 9 was a moment when Jupiter retrograde. And probably we are feeling that from that moment here, we couldn't expand as fast as we want or if we can. But at the same time, was a perfect time to let us revisit all those activities that we probably been involved from the moment that was at the beginning of the year when Jupiter entered into Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini is in alignment with Aldebaran, and Aldebaran is a beautiful energy that will be connecting us with the importance of being in alignment with embody our higher self, and at the same time as is the fixed star of the Taurus constellation, we know that wherever we are able to embody will be sick in us and will be able to grow, prosper, and is a beautiful energy of highly intuitive, spiritual, will be connected with our empathic part and sensitive part too. At the same time, Uranus actually is having an extra shot this month and during this event because have a strong alignment with Capulus. And this is a beautiful energy, but at the same time is connecting us with that sensation that we are ready to go. We must be intuitive, analytical at the same time, independent and persistent. But remember, probably in the near future, some path will be not longer available. Don't be frustrated. This will be for our higher good. Last but not least, I want to share the alignment of the moon with Russell Howe in the constellation of Ficus. And this is super important as this is a time where we are bringing light into our most deeply and private world of our own emotions. And this star will be bringing us the insightful remembering that we come here to be truth seekers. The truth it's actually an attribute of God. And we all are these little pieces of God. And of course, any and each one of us have part of that truth that must to come together to understand exactly a full picture. So this is super, super important. At the same time, I want to point in the other alignments that I place in here, sheet that it's actually right there for a long time, heading and pointing us the North Node in Pisces, let us know that being a peacemaker is, of course, key during this tumultuous time. And at the same time, every single time that we think about that North Node, we must remember that for the next 18 months or so, till the middle of 2026, we will be in alignment to be more and more able to bring our higher spirituality self or spiritual self to our daily life routine in different ways, being able to be coherent and at the same time working in order to follow this spiritual mission that all of us come here to do. No one is more important than other, and of course each one of us have something interesting to share with the world. Riga right there, actually in conjunct with the sun is connecting us with Capella, and it's a beautiful energy, very very much alignment in alignment with the Aquarius, as those energies bringing us the capacity to be a freedom fighters. So we start remembering that we are interdimensional, that we can connect and remember part of our self in Atlantis, for example. And we are going to be seeing more and more of these new energies in the near future. Last but not least, Altair right there in alignment with Pluto. We know that will stay there for some long time, and that is something that will inspire in us through clarity, will be remembering us that we born as natural leaders, and we must to remember that it's a time to be very, very oriented into action. It's not longer time to be hiding our light in any other place, not in our home, not just with those that we really love. It's time to slowly but firm going out and shine our light to the world, as this is the time to start not only dreaming about the future, but start to think this way in a very active, action orienting future, near future, how we will developing our own mission, our own work, just to be able to help others in this particular moment in time where every single one of us are really and super important, and we must of course step out of the shadows to be able to do it. So hopefully this was a message that could be encouraging you to be more able to, no matter happen, know that will be probably pushing us to confront this Uranus energy, and probably, who knows, be able to stay outside right on the spot that we must be, to be bold, to be brave, to be able to embrace our inner light and let the world see our uniqueness. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon in Leo, and hopefully see you next time in the next video.